And welcome back to another episode of the Men's Report, Fantasy Prediction Show, hosted by yours truly, Menace to Fantasy. Let's go. And welcome back to another episode of the Men's Report, Fantasy Prediction Show. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Your boy Scoob is back. Hold up. Welcome back. Hold up. Another Friday episode. I'm continuing with who should be RB1. Alright. Last week, I did my first two backfields, and I'm moving into my next two. This week we're going to the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. Now, I'm kind of excited because you would think these backfields will be easy, but one is a little bit more difficult than the other, what has recently transpired over these camps. Okay? It's also very interesting because both of these organizations spent second round draft picks on running backs from Ohio State, so they're kind of related. So they both got some Ohio State Buckeyes coming in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I got some information. And again, once again, I apologize for looking down a lot because I got a lot of notes. So let's start off with the Cleveland Browns. First off, I would like to say, that's nasty. The Cleveland Browns. I'm not saying it's nasty just because it's the Cleveland Browns and I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I'm saying it's nasty because that offense is nasty. When you got 5 quarterbacks in the room, and it's just nasty. Now, as a fantasy person looking from the outside in, me and everybody else probably is seeing that Nick Chubb has gone. The Nick Chubb era is all said and done in Cleveland. So it opens up a lot of carries, and we're going to find out who should be the RB1. Now, they drafted this young man from Ohio State in the second round. You would assume that this individual would be their RB1. And if you don't know I'm talking about Quinshawn Junkins at Ohio State. That was their second round draft pick. You would think he would come in and be the clear bell cow because he's got the skill. He definitely has the size. He's 6 foot, 220 pounds. He had a strong college career at Ohio State. Once again, durability is not an issue. And his physical run style, he's a big bruiser. It fits perfect in the AFC North. All right? So you would say, Scoop, there you go. That's the RB1. However, pump your brakes. However, Junkins is the only one or the last second round pick that's still holding out and has not signed a contract. So that's strike number one right there. He hasn't signed his contract. Number 2, he's already been arrested for domestic violence already. So he's got 2 strikes on him. So, smart. I'll give it to the Browns front office. They're smart. They're playing it. They're moving on, thinking they're not going to have this young man. They're moving on. So, you're like, okay, the next bet. Jerome Ford. Veteran. Very productive veteran. He stepped in last year when Nick Chubb got hurt. He had 104 carries for over 500 yards. He's steady. He's reliable. He's got hands. A big thing that helps him out too, this man's a team player. He took a pay cut to stay in Cleveland. He wants to be there. He sees the opportunity like, hey, I got a chance to be a true bell cow. I'm going to stay here. However, pump the brakes. Mr. Ford has not practiced at all. He's been out with an undisclosed injury. He hasn't seen the practice field. That's not good. That's not good at all. I don't want somebody that has to touch the field and not telling what's wrong with him. So, by default, right now, the Cleveland Browns RB1 is another rookie they drafted in the 4th round. His name is Dylan Sampson. Okay? He has been impressive so far in camp. The word is coming out. He's been impressive. And just by default, I keep on using that before. If the season started this weekend, by default, he would be the Cleveland Browns RB1. And you might say, hold up, Stu. What about that boy Pierre Strong? I don't think he's going to be. He's there. He's for depth, and he's a special teams player. So, at the moment, the Cleveland Browns starting running back is a rookie. It's just not the rookie we all thought it was going to be. It's Dylan Sampson. Now, finding value. It's hard. Because if you want Junkins, you're going to have to take him early. Maybe 4th, 5th round. But how long is this boy going to hold out? We know he's not going to be suspended this year. If he does get a suspension, it'll take effect next year. So it's kind of iffy. You want to spend a 4th round pick in this man. We don't know how long he's going to be out. Ford, I would love to know what the injury is. But I would say he's the value Ford. Dylan Sampson, I really don't know much. I didn't watch a lot of Tennessee football. So I don't know much about the young man. So this backfield is kind of hard. If you want to take the rookie, the shiny new toy, you go Junkins. If you want somebody reliable and you're not worried about this undisclosed injury, you take Ford, you could draft later. Or if you want straight up value and you want to gamble, you're going to draft Dylan Sampson. So that's a hard backfield to figure out. So let's transition over to the New England Patriots. Okay? Similar situation, like I told you. They also drafted a running back in the 2nd round from Ohio State. All right? So, they got the young, flashy quarterback, Drake May. The boy is good. I'm kind of upset I did trade him in Dynasty, but I had to move on. Drake May is good. The fans will probably say, hey, let's bring out that shiny new toy. So from the outside looking in, all the early reports right now in camp, the spotlight has been on the 2nd round draft pick, Travion Henderson. All right? Already, they want to see this young man. All right? So people are already assuming that he's going to be the RB1. Now, he has elite speed. He has 3-down versatility. He has all the ideal traits that fits perfect in Josh McDaniels' system. He fits perfect. The early camp reports, like I just said, he is a playmaker. Big-time playmaker. He did the same thing at Ohio State. All right? Strong pass-catching skills. He has nice hands. And his pass blocking is excellent. So he's set up. However, pump your brakes. However, Travion Henderson, if you look at the depth chart and if you saw what's going on in camp, he is the RB3 right now. He's behind 2 veterans. He's the RB3. All right? The reason why Mike Vrabel, the head coach, he is very conservative. Very conservative. And he has a hard time trusting rookies. Rookies have to prove they need to be on that field. They're not just given stuff. That's how it's supposed to be in life. You got to earn everything. And that's how Vrabel gets down. So right now, Henderson is RB3. So, right now, Ramondre Stevenson, the veteran, the one that got paid last year, is the RB1. And he's the value. I'm pretty sure a lot of drafts, best ball, whatever, Travion Henderson is getting drafted before Ramondre Stevenson. That's a value. If I can get him later, a starting running back to start the year off, I'm going with Ramondre Stevenson. Now, I just told you, Mr. Stevenson got paid last year. He signed a 4-year extension through 2028. Not 4 years. He signed an extension to 2028. He's going to get all that early Durham work. He's a power option. He also can catch the ball. What the hiccup is with this young man is he's crossed the ball up. He likes to leave the front door open, as I say. If he can correct this, he'll hold on to that job a little bit longer than what I'm thinking is going to happen. Because it might be the similar situation. They let the veteran lead off the year, and then they slowly bring the rookie in and let the rookie take over. But Stevenson's got skills. If he doesn't fumble, he fits perfect in Josh McDaniels' system. He does the same thing as TreVeyon Henderson. He might not be as explosive as Henderson, but he's effective like Henderson. Okay? Now, the RB2 is Antonio Gibson, another wide receiver that switched over to be a running back. Now, last year, Mr. Gibson had a good, effective year. He's a good running back out the backfield, catching the ball. He's reliable. So I see him doing that same role this year as a third down back, coming in, catching the ball out the backfield. So he's an option. So who's the RB1 right now? Ramondre Stevenson. Who's the value? Ramondre Stevenson. If you want to take some veteran late, you take Gibson, third down back. If you decide to take TreVeyon Henderson, you're going to have to draft him early. You're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to be patient, and you're going to happily hope that Ramondre coughs up the ball a lot so he can take over earlier. So I can see Henderson taking this job later in the season if Ramondre does not have these fumbling issues. So if you take him, you got to be patient, Mr. Henderson. All right? So that wraps up for these two teams. Let me wrap this up correctly, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, we'll go into 2 more teams. We'll keep this train moving. Please put a comment in this video or in the chat if you disagree or agree. I want to hear from y'all. We get the discussion on back and forth. So, y'all enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Peace.